This episode is brought to you by the Introvert Dating Success Membership Academy, opening on November 1st. Join the waitlist and get your free PDF, The Girlfriend Roadmap Checklist, at introvertdatingsuccess.com. Stay till the end for more information. What up, IDS Mob? HarryWilmington here, and today we're going to be talking about the 3 things that men often don't understand about feminine women. And I think it's important because today you hear a lot of talk about how, there's so many women out there that are leaning into their masculine. They don't let a man be a man, and they don't know, how to just relax and bathe in their femininity. But I think what men aren't prepared for is that if you find a woman that is truly a feminine woman, there are going to be certain characteristic traits that she has that honestly, either you might not be prepared for or that you might find overly annoying if you are not aware of what they are and aware of how to deal with a woman that is truly feminine. Because you got to be ready. If you meet a woman that is in her femininity, she's going to expect you to be in your masculine, and there are going to be certain things just about the way that she is that you got to be prepared for. So let's go ahead and get into those 3 things. And this might be an ongoing series because there's definitely more than 3 things, but I wanted to start you off with 3. So here's the first thing that men often either don't understand or aren't prepared to deal with as it pertains to having a feminine woman, all right? First one is that they're going to cry a lot. Like, I don't know what it is about, I think it's that they're so in touch with their emotions that just about anything can make them cry. If something's hyperly happy, it can make them cry. If they see something that's really, really cute, it can make them cry. If they get upset with you over something, or you guys start having any kind of small disagreement, even a small disagreement can cause them to start tearing up. For whatever reason, women that are in their feminine are just in touch with that side of them that really connects them to the world in a truly emotional way. And oftentimes they can make them cry. Now, you being a guy, if you're in your masculine, you're not gonna typically be about crying over just about anything. You could be at like somebody's funeral and not shed a tear, not that that'd be the norm. But like the point is that our capacity for crying more often than not is like usually very, very low. Like it has to be something like cataclysmic, or in some cases, like your sports team losing to cry. And so it's good for you to know this, because here's the thing. Like I said, there's going to be some times where your woman is going to get very happy about something and start to cry. And sometimes men make the mistake of like trying to rib a woman about that, like, joking them and say, oh, you're crying all the time, blah, blah, blah. Well, understand that even though you might be joking about it, she might be, ironically enough, feeling some kind of way about that to make her cry more. But no, that's just how she is, where like things in the world really move her, and the way she expresses that is through her tears. And so you can't make fun of your woman for always being on the verge of crying. That's what I have found in my passing of dating hyperly feminine women do. They just typically have the capacity to cry just about anything. Now, here's the other thing though, is that this also includes times when you might get upset with her and you want to bring something to her attention. She could be doing something that she wasn't aware was going to upset you. And when you bring it to her attention, she just starts boohoo crying, all right? And again, it's because there's that emotional side of her that really doesn't want to upset you. And it's not that she's necessarily mad at you for pointing it out. She's more upset at herself that she wasn't even aware that she was doing something. And now it's just the tears are starting to come. And this is very important, okay? There are going to be times when you're with a feminine woman who has the capacity to cry at the drop of a hat, where you're going to have to actually ignore her tears, because the things you're saying to her aren't in malice. They're not meant to upset her. But if there's an issue of some kind that you're having with her, or you guys are getting into an argument about something, again, as the guy, you got to be aware that you're going to be presenting these things to her in a way that is, you're not trying to yell at her, you're not trying to accuse her of stuff, you're just trying to let your stance be known about what it is you're disagreeing on or what you're upset about. And she may cry. And the guy's natural instinct when we see women crying is to try to do anything we can to stop the tears. So what I don't want you to be is that guy that when she starts crying because you said something that upset her, your response is, oh, no, baby. Oh, it's okay. Oh, no, never mind. I didn't say the thing. I don't want you to be upset. Because the thing that you're saying might actually be true, and it might actually be important in terms of getting your thoughts out about something or changing a certain dynamic that you guys are having that you don't want, all right? So you have to learn to be able to distinguish between tears that she's having where you need to step in and say, hey, baby, it's okay. Let's get you through this. And the tears that she has where it's just because you've said something to her that hurt her feelings because it just did, but it's something that needed to be said, and it's something that needed to be talked about, and you don't need to change your stance on that, okay? But recognize, regardless, that feminine women are typically going to be ready to cry, and that's not something you can control. It doesn't mean she needs to be consoled all the time, and it doesn't mean that you're in the wrong when she's crying all the time. That's the first thing. The second thing that men oftentimes don't understand about feminine women, it's very important, is that they are going to be constantly looking to you to make decisions. And I mean on just about everything, about where you guys are going to live, about the activity you're going to do today for a date, or just to be going out to hang out, about the kind of food you guys are going to get. Like, here's the thing. A feminine woman, realistically, is looking for a man to lead her. And I've heard so many complaints from women talking about how ultimately they don't want to make decisions, but that the guys that they're dating are constantly asking them, what do you want to do? Where do you want to go? Yada, yada, yada. And in order for a woman to be led by you, they have to first establish trust in your leadership. And so this starts very early on in the dating process when you ask her out, because at that point, she's looking at you to see, okay, he asked me out. What kind of thing is he going to get us into in order for us to have a good time? And so when you go to her and say, well, what do you want to do? You're not allowing her to tap into the feminine part of her that is looking to help build trust with you and to help establish you as the leader of this relationship. This is why I tell you guys, you need to already have a plan of at least 4 to 5 different things that you could take a woman to on these dates. This is why I tell you that if you are hungry and she's hungry, you shouldn't be asking her, well, what do you want to eat? You should just pick out a place, and then if she likes it, if she doesn't like it, she'll just say, well, I'm not a fan of this food, or I'm allergic to this, or I'm on a vegan or whatever diet. Like, can you find something else? But the point is that a woman that's in her true feminine is going to be looking to you to be in your masculine and to basically tell her what to do. Now, I know there might be some women watching this that think like, I don't want to be told to blah, blah, blah. Think about it, ladies. How many times have you complained about the fact that your guy or the guy that's trying to date you is asking you to do stuff, is asking you to make the plans, is asking you to figure out where they're going to eat, what you're going to do? Like, more often than not, again, most women that I know have complained about this, because a woman that's truly in her feminine wants to be able to trust the guy that she's with, wants to be able to just go with the flow of the plan that's happening. Okay. And again, if a woman doesn't like the plan, she can speak out about it, but it's still better for you as a guy to go in having a plan that she's not a fan of, and then let her say, I'm not a fan of that, pick something else, because that's still gonna at least give her the impression that you're trying to do some kind of leading, versus going in and automatically asking her for stuff. If you want a woman to lean into her femininity, you cannot look to her to be the leader, which means you cannot look to her to be making decisions and plans about things, okay? So just make a note of that, guys. And the third thing that men don't understand about feminine women is that they're often willing to sacrifice what they want for the betterment of the collective. A woman is ultimately designed, especially a feminine woman, already knows that her purpose is to be a helpmate. And so what that means is that there's gonna be some times where she has things she wants to do or plans that she wanted to do, but if she's looking at you, and potentially in the future, like the kids you're gonna be having, and looking in the totality of what's best for the group, and realizes that the thing that she wants isn't going to help the group ultimately, then she will actually sacrifice that thing. Now, as men, we don't get it, because we're like, well, if I got a goal, I'm not gonna get rid of that crap. But again, we're men. We're supposed to be going after our goals and dreams and trying to achieve them. And this is not to say that women don't also do that, but what I'm saying is, given the choice between doing the things that she wants to do and doing what's better for the group, more often than not, women will be more willing than guys are, to sacrifice what they're doing for the betterment of the group. Now, why is it important for you as a guy to know this? Because, again, a feminine woman is naturally going to do that, but that doesn't mean that she will not build up resentment. And I don't think women even understand this, is that you could be bathing your feminine at the same time sabotaging yourself because you are willing to sacrifice for the group, but you're not in the process allowing yourself to do the thing you truly want to do, which means you're building resentment over time. So as men, what you need to be aware of is that your woman is probably going to do this. And then you have to decide, is this a thing that's going to happen every single time where you always get your way? Because it's a trap. You think that getting your way means she wants to do the thing, but no, what it means is she's trying to keep the peace, and she recognizes that you really want to do these things, and so she's going to oftentimes sacrifice these things, and you have to step in and say, you know what, honey, we went to a game last week, And so this week you said you wanted to go to opera. Let's go ahead and do that thing. So in other words, you as the leader of the relationship, you as the guy, are gonna have to recognize that there are gonna be times where your woman's gonna really wanna do something and she's gonna act like giving it up is gonna be no big deal. But you cannot allow her to let you get your way all the time, because that can build resentment over time. Just because it's a feminine woman's natural disposition to sacrifice in order to do better for everybody else, recognize that a lot of women also complain about that behind closed doors. And so you gotta be the guy that steps in and says, hey, I know, I appreciate you saying I can get my way this time, but you know what? I realize you've done that a lot. And so let's do the thing that you want to do, baby. Let's do this thing. And also you'll find too that you'll get into new adventures that you didn't think you'd want to do simply by allowing yourself to be open to the things that she's suggesting you guys do together, okay? But just recognize that and there are definitely positives to a woman being willing to sacrifice things for the betterment of the group, because sometimes the things that she wants aren't great for the group. And then what'll happen is if you do that thing, she'll come back later and say, well, see, you should have made this decision, and I didn't know the thing that I chose was gonna be X, Y, and Z. So you still gotta have discernment about, is the thing that she's wanting to do actually great for the group overall? If you think that, or the thing that she's willing to, the thing that she's willing to sacrifice is for the great of the group, is that an actual great thing? If it is, then go along with it. If it doesn't really matter, then you can be like, babe, let's do your thing this time. It is what it is. But you got to know that, because again, what you don't want is a woman slowly building resentment over time, because you're not recognizing that she's sacrificing for the betterment of the group, but it's not always to her liking. So those are just a few things as a guy that you gotta just know about women. And there's a lot more that you need to know. But when you're dating an ultimately feminine woman, these are some of the things that you're gonna do it. Because, you know, if you up to this point only been dating women that are hypermasculine, you might not be aware that just like women that are in their masculine come with some things that you gotta be aware of, that women that are in their feminine also come with things that at times, again, can be annoying or be frustrating, or just because we're as men, we operate on a different type of system, that it might not be something we're used to. But the more you're aware of it, the more you can prepare for it, and the less annoyed you'll be by it. So hopefully this helps you out. And again, I'll do another set of these if you like this video, and do this as kind of like a series, all right? But in the meantime, thank you for watching this episode. If you like it, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel at HarryWilmington. And also, guys, on November 1st, the Introvert Dating Success Membership Academy will be opening up on November 1st. That is going to be the Netflix of dating advice. It's going to be jam-packed with hundreds of hours of rock-solid dating advice that can help you get to the next level, help you build your confidence, and be able to establish the kind of presence with women that you've always dreamed about. So you can join the waitlist for that right now at introvertdatingsuccess.com. When you do that, you'll get a free PDF, the Girlfriend Roadmap Checklist, which helps you lay the foundation of what you need to be doing in those first 3 months with the woman to get her from just dating you to being in a relationship with you, all right? So again, get that and sign up for the waitlist now at introvertdatingsuccess.com, all right? I'm Harry Wilmington. Thanks for watching this episode, and I will catch you guys on the next one. I'm out. Peace.
Thanks for listening to the Introvert Dating Success Podcast. Visit us at introvertdatingsuccess.com for more great tips on attracting women using your natural introvert charm. Oh, yeah.